Hey there, boys and girls. I just wanted to introduce you to our new family pet. This is Maylee's kitten. His name is Mr. Fluffykins. So just wanted to show you a little picture of him before we got into our ELA lesson. Our ELA lesson is under Unit 2, Nouns and Friendly Letters, and we are going to be learning today about the suffixes ER and EST. In this lesson, you will look at adjectives and adverbs that compare. Adjectives and adverbs are describing words that make stories more detailed and interesting. Suffixes ER and EST on a describing word can compare something to something else. You are going to identify words with the suffixes ER or EST in a sentence, and you are going to construct describing words that compare using ER and EST suffixes. In this lesson, you will continue to learn about adjectives and adverbs. These words describe other words. Adjectives describe nouns and adverbs describe verbs. Remember that adjectives describe nouns and adverbs describe verbs. So we have an example: the green tree swayed gently in the breeze. In this example, the green are adjectives telling about the noun tree, and gently is an adverb. It tells about the verb and how it swayed. All right, adjectives and adverbs can be used to compare things. The suffix ER can attach to adjectives and adverbs to compare two persons or two things. Here we have two boys. One is wearing a green shirt and one a yellow. The boy wearing the green shirt is tall, and the boy wearing the yellow shirt is short. So those are just the adjectives to describe those boys. So when we start to add on the suffix ER, we are going to be comparing two. So we have two people here. We have Jeff and Ben. So Jeff is taller than Ben. So if we use the word tall, Jeff is taller than Ben. So before, when we just had just a tall kid and a short kid, now we are comparing these two. Jeff is taller than Ben. I like to remember that when you have two, you add the ER, two letters. For example, I'll show you here. So we have the ER, and I like to remember that ER, we have two letters. E and R, two letters. So we use ER at the end, the suffix ER, when we are comparing two things, to items, to people, to whatever. So we're going to compare the tree, my lovely drawings here, and my flower. So if we're talking about the word tall again, so we have the word tall. So the tree is taller than the flower. So we have two items. We're going to add that suffix er to that word. All right, here's another example. Austin and Isaiah. How many kids are we talking about here? We're talking about 2 kids. So we know that we are going to be adding the suffix that has 2 letters, which is er. So I'm going to add that suffix to my root word, which is old. Austin is older than Isaiah, I think. All right, short is the adjective we're talking about here, but we are comparing Erica and Miley. We have 2 girls. We know that when we have 2, we're going to use the suffix that has the 2 letters. And so we're going to take our root word, which is short, and add our suffix er. So Miley is shorter than Erica. All right, now we're going to talk about EST. Look at this. EST has 3 letters, okay? We're going to use EST when we are comparing 3 or more items. So in this lovely illustration by your amazing teacher, we have 3 types of ice cream. We have some strawberry ice cream, some blueberry ice cream, and just some vanilla ice cream with a cherry on top. So we're going to use that word tall again. So right now, we could, if we were only comparing the strawberry and the blueberry, you could say that the blueberry cone is taller than the strawberry. But since we have 3 items right now, the vanilla is the tallest cone of them all. So remember, when we are using 3 items to compare, we use the suffix that has the 3 letters, which is EST. For example, here we have a little boy. It looks like maybe a progression of him growing up in life. But since we have 3 pictures, that picture on the left-hand side, he is the tallest. Maybe this picture will help us a little bit more if we could compare them maybe by their hair color. The person with the orangish color hair is the tallest. We're comparing 4 people this time. So right now we're comparing 3 people, so we know when we're comparing, if we're still talking about the word tall, if we're comparing 3 people, the man with the brown tie is the tallest. So remember, 3 or more people, 3 or more things, 3 or more items. When you are comparing, you use the 3-letter suffix EST. So here we have some kiddos. And I would say that the girl who is blowing a bubble from her bubble gum is the tallest. In this picture, we have 4 children. So 3 or more, 4 is more than 3. So we add our suffix that has the 3 letters. So here we have an example. We have fast. I didn't even know who to put here because I was thinking of the kids in the race, right before Christmas break, and you guys were in the race who qualified for the top 2. So for the obstacle course challenge, and I was thinking of all the kids that were participated in it, and I just didn't know who was the fastest of them all. I mean, I just couldn't think of it, or who was really fast, but I remember Kaylin was in it, and she was a fast little bugger. So we have Kaylin, and we are comparing her to the entire class. So if you think about Mrs. Wirgo's classroom 317, there are lots of kids in that class. And if we're comparing Kaylin, we're comparing her to the other kids in the class. There are 19 other kids in the class. So if you're comparing her to 19 others, that is 3 or more. So we are going to be adding the suffix EST. So we put our root word, fast. And then we're going to add our suffix, EST. Kaylin is the fastest kid in our class. I'm not saying that's true, but just came up with an example. All right, the next one. This is a little bit different. Sometimes they're going to use the article the before a word. Okay, and you're just going to have to read it over and over again until it makes sense and see which one would be right. I am the hungrier, or I am the hungriest. Okay, so most times, but not always, when they use the article the before this comparative adjective or adverb, you are going to use the one that ends in EST most of the time. Not always, but most of the time. So I'm going to give you a strategy, and the strategy is that you need to read that over and over again until you're like, wait, that makes sense. Oh, that does not. I am the hungrier, or I am the hungriest. Okay, the end of this lesson, you're going to have your questions like usual, and then you're going to have to type 2 sentences. So the first one we have richer and richest, meaning having a lot of money. You can also be rich in blessings as well. Remember, richer, when you are using the suffix er, you're comparing 2 people or 2 things. And since we're talking about richer, because this is applying to people, I came up with comparing Michael Jordan to someone else. Michael Jordan is richer than Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal. So richer, Michael Jordan is richer than Shaq. I'm comparing 2 people, so I use the suffix er. Now we have the word richest. So that means I'm going to have to compare someone to more than the LeBron to just someone else. We need LeBron compared to more than just one other person. So I put LeBron James is the richest basketball player to date. Like at this time, he's the richest. All right, so now, but on that one, I just want you to know, I don't want you to copy mine. Come up with your own on the richer, richest. Don't copy mine. I was just helping you out there. This one, this word you may have gotten thrown on if you try to do this lesson. Ripe. When something is ripe, it is delicious. It is juicy. It is like ready to eat, and it's just so good looking. Okay? So if you're talking about fruit, okay, so when we do riper, you're going to compare something as riper than something else. Okay? Ripest, you're comparing something to many other things, 3 or more other things. So remember that when you are doing your assignment. You'll have questions, and then you have to type them out too. All right, this is Mr. Fluffykins saying goodbye. And then lastly, I just wanted to kind of give you an update on our new little chicks. They are already over a week old, about a week and a half old. They're just growing like crazy. So take your time with your lesson check, do the best that you can, and you will be having a quiz on all of what you've learned in this whole chapter unit on everything ELA tomorrow.